This is a really exciting night. It's a night of a lot of history. As I said before, you'll find there's a lot of alumni who work here and who are in the room. I think this is my 29th year, if you include my studies, and I did an internship here between phys ed and athletics after I graduated and have just stayed here ever since, and it has been an amazing, amazing experience. We hosted a Spartan Hall of Fame in 2003, and we started that with the intention of keeping it going probably as an annual event. We weren't sure of the frequency, and we tried a few different things with that event, and it was a wonderful event, but we decided, you know, the format, we were trying to achieve too much in one event, so we need to fine-tune this and get a better format because we need to have a Hall of Fame event that we keep moving forward. And I guess we're slow learners, or we're keen on the details, because it's taken us until now to come up with what we feel like is maybe going to be a good format moving forward. So we are hoping this will become an annual event. So this is the second. We hope we're not going to have 20 years between the next one and this one. So at that time, we inducted Bottom Mellis. If any of you remember Bottom Mellis, he was the gym supervisor for many, many years. When I was here, he was still here. And what a heart for God that man had. I mean, his primary job was impacting young lives, and on the side, he took care of the gym. And he had an amazing story, and we inducted him as someone who was a key builder in terms of Spartan athletics. And Jake Braun, I know that name is going to ring a lot of bells in this room for the men's basketball crowd. Obviously, a lot of legacy and history there in terms of how he's built into the basketball program, and so many lives around this room as well, I know that. And so our plan is to move forward with this induction plan. We are going to recognize individual athletes at times, teams at times, key builders in terms of different categories, and we're just excited that we can get this ball rolling again with you, and we hope that you enjoy the evening. I was reading an interesting quote as I was thinking about what this night is all about, and I've always heard this phrase, which I'm sure many of you have heard about, standing on the shoulders of giants. But I actually didn't know who said it, and that was only part of the phrase. So it was actually Isaac Newton, and I think it's such a perfect example of what tonight is all about. So he said, if I have seen further, it's only because I was standing on the shoulders of giants. And so I think as an alum myself, I walked past the hallway of history that we had in the gym, and that's another project that we're going to revamp, but I've walked past pictures of many of you for many a years thinking, wow, you know, look at the cool history we have, and I'm part of this big, rich legacy, and I feel like I have been standing on the shoulders of these giants, and I see our more recent alums who continue to put that legacy forward and continue to be the giants of tomorrow. So it's just really fun to be a part of this big, big history, and we're excited that we can honor you tonight as a part of this rich history. Another rich history we have is just a great support from our senior administration at Trinity Western. It's just so great to have that wind beneath your wings and the support to feel like, yes, we love what you're doing, we believe in you, and we want you to keep moving forward. So I would like to introduce you to Dr. Todd Martin. He is the TWU Provost, and he has a rich history here as well at Trinity Western. So would you please join me in welcoming Todd Martin.
Thank you, Julie, and good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone back to campus. For some of you, maybe this is the first time in a while. New buildings, new programs, new demographics of our students, but the same old history and focus on being a Christ-centered liberal arts Christian university. And so we're very, very excited to have you back. And I appreciate the invitation from the athletics as well. So it's my pleasure and privilege to be celebrating with you here this evening. From what I could tell, and I was doing a little bit of history searching of my own, it looks like we have, being inducted into the class of 2022, in the men's volleyball, a couple of setters and an outside hitter who no doubt could have created a bit of chaos if they had lined up together. In women's soccer, had they all played together, they would have had the core of a great side with a playmaker, a keeper, a striker, and one all-star forward full of pace on the pitch and the track. In men's soccer, 2 defenders whose tackling ability led to more clean sheets than yellow cards. And then finally, we have a historic team of round ball players who won the university's first sports championship while christening the Enerson Gym way back in the year that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the NBA's Rookie of the Year. And although I don't play basketball, I was smart enough to marry somebody from southern Indiana who grew up in a place that clearly could have been the set for Hoosiers. Today we honor those Today we honor those entering into the Spartan Hall of Fame who have contributed to the history of this university through its athletic programs. You're being recognized for your outstanding contribution to the history and tradition of Trinity Western University. And I think, as Julie said, we're reminded of the importance of history and tradition. We don't sit here in a chronological or cultural vacuum. And as a Christian institution, we understand that we enter into 2,000 years of Christian history as we live out our calling. Today is a history, and it impacts the future. Thank you for contributing to all of that as we gather to remember, reflect, and rejoice in the river of the past, present, and future of Spartan greats. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. All right, so let's get to this all-important induction ceremony. I am very excited about this part. We're going to induct in order of individual inductees first, and then we'll save the team for after the individuals, and we're going to do the individuals in the order that they competed in. And what else would I like to tell you about this? I'm going to call Director of Athletics Jeff Gamache forward, as well as Todd Martin, to just help with the presentations. So we'll call those, and while I'm having them come forward, Jeff is also an alum of 1995, right, Jeff? 95? Men's volleyball alum. So I don't know if I mentioned I'm a women's basketball alum, so go basketball back there, nice. And for each inductee here tonight, we have a presentation gift, as well as we are going to give you a Spartan alumni sweater. So this is a new tradition we started a number of years ago. And these sweaters have become a big hit, which we're very happy about that. So the idea behind the sweater came from, you know, we see our student athletes graduate, and some of them now have 5 years of eligibility, and that's a long playing career, and it is so all-consuming. And sometimes, you know, we're always working with our athletes to make sure your identity is beyond just your sport. You know, we talk about the complete champion approach and building into them spiritually, academically, as leaders, and of course, athletically. But we want to make sure that when they leave Trinity Western, they're not just a good athlete, because eventually that ends. And so what else do you have in your toolbox? But there is that moment when they leave and they kind of feel like, my career's done. And some will go on and play pro for a few years, and that's great. But again, eventually that ends. So the sweaters is a little bit of a way of saying, you know, here's your new uniform. You're still part of the team. You're part of a much bigger team now. And it's a great way when we come to events for people to go, I can spot some other alumni in the crowd. Because you walk into a gym of people, and I don't know anybody. I haven't been back to campus a long time, or I haven't been to a game in a long time. I don't know if I know anyone here. But these sweaters stand out. And now I can spot other alums in the group. And even if I don't know them, I can walk over and go, hey, what team did you play for? And the other great thing about these sweaters, which is an added bonus, is if you wear this to a game, it is one free ticket for the rest of your life. And we decided that we want to make sure we say the message behind this is you're a Spartan for life. We talk about that all the time. So we want you to feel you're always welcome home. You can wear that, and so now I'm getting all choked up. But it's a really cool thing to be part of this big family and feel like it's not over. You're still a part of just a bigger team. So you're all going to get a sweater tonight. and we're going to size you up as you come up. So when you do come up, we're going to quickly try and pick the right size. We can fine-tune it later if we don't get it right before we take your picture. And then we're going to ask you to come forward and receive a plaque. We unfortunately have a lot of people who were unable to make it for various reasons. I know there's illness running through a lot of places as well. So we are still going to recognize those with a video presentation. And then if you are obviously here, we want you to come up. So we're going to begin with our individuals, and we're going to start with Laura Wilson Morlang.
Laura Morlang is arguably Trinity Western University's most decorated female athlete. The Coquitlam, BC native is the only Spartan to earn Trinity Western Athlete of the Year honors on 3 different occasions. She set Trinity Western records that have stood for over 20 years and is the Spartans' only 2-sport All-Star and national champion. Morlang, who graduated from Trinity Western in 2002, won Trinity Western's first ever Canada West and U Sports Championship. In 2001, she won the Canada West Championship in the 60 meter with a time of 7.52 seconds, which tied the Canada West record at the time. Then, 2 weeks later, she won the U Sports 60 meter gold medal with a time of 7.47. In her U Sports sprinting career, Morlang was named a Canada West First Team All-Star twice in 2001 and 2002, and a U Sports First Team All-Canadian in 2001. Not only was Morlang a star on the sprinting stage, she was also a multiple All-Star forward for the Spartans women's soccer team. In 1998-99, she was named to the BCCAA First All-Star team, which she followed up with a second team award in 1999-2000. Laura Morlang, welcome to the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Unfortunately, Laura wasn't able to be here, but she did send a few comments and just said her coach was the biggest impact in terms of her spiritual life and her track and cross country experience, and so she just was very grateful and sends her regrets. Next up from volleyball, we have Josh Howatson.
Josh Howatson enjoyed tremendous individual and team success as a volleyball student athlete at Trinity Western University from 2003 to 2007. The 6'6" setter earned a host of awards and medals over his years as a Spartan, which culminated in 2007 when he became Trinity Western's first and only BLG award winner as the Canadian University Male Athlete of the Year, the Dale Iwanoshko Award as the National Student Athlete of the Year, along with the National MVP Award. That season, he led Trinity Western to the first Canada West men's volleyball title in school history. The previous year, in 2006, he was part of the team's first national title. A 2-time national championship tournament all-star, Howatson also earned a national silver medal in 2005 and a national bronze medal in 2007. He also has a pair of Canada West silver medals from 2005 and 2006. Howatson was also a back-to-back Canada West First Team All-Star and All-Canadian First Team member in 2006 and 2007. He was named a Canada West Second Team All-Star in 2005. In addition to his U Sports and Canada West awards, Howatson was also named the Complete Champion Award winner in 2006-2007. Howatson played internationally for Canada, including at the 2010 World Championships, as well as professionally in France, Spain, Switzerland, and Turkey. He's already a Canada West Hall of Famer. Now Josh Howatson is in the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Josh also unfortunately couldn't make it out. He married a women's basketball alum. Actually, we've got lots of good new Spartan breeding channels where we have different teams in different sports. So we're looking forward to seeing their kids here one day. And he played pro in Europe and decided to stay living there. So unfortunately, it was a bit of a trip to come out, but he sends his regards. Paul Hamilton is next from men's soccer.
In just 3 seasons playing varsity soccer at Trinity Western University, Paul Hamilton had an almost unmatched run. The 6-foot defender from Calgary joined the Spartans in 2007 and made an immediate impact, helping Trinity Western win the Canada West Championship while being named a Canada West First Team All-Star and a Second Team All-Canadian. In 2008, Hamilton repeated as a Canada West First Team All-Star and All-Canadian Second Teamer. He was also named a Tournament All-Star at the National Championships in Ottawa, where Trinity Western earned a silver medal. Hamilton was named both a Canada West and National Player of the Year in 2009 when Trinity Western hosted the National Championship, where Hamilton was once again named a Tournament All-Star, as the Spartans captured bronze by defeating Toronto in a thrilling match that went to penalties. While attending Trinity Western, Hamilton also played with the Vancouver Whitecaps residency team in the USL Premier Development League. In 2011, he joined FC Edmonton of the North American Soccer League and went on to make more than 50 appearances over 2 years with the Eddies, before joining the Carolina Railhawks and playing 24 matches during the 2013 NASL season. Already a Canada West Hall of Famer, we now welcome Paul Hamilton into the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
So fun to look back and see all the older footage. It's amazing. We were actually talking about how just in a few short years, it looks like it's really old footage. Technology advances so quickly. Paul couldn't make it. He's living in Edmonton right now. Another great Spartan couple. We kept it within the soccer world, though. He married a women's soccer player, and they're expecting their second, and so he just needed to stay a little bit closer to home, but was very honored to be recognized tonight. Next up, also from men's soccer, is Nick Perugini.
Defender Nick Perugini left his mark on the Trinity Western men's soccer program during a decorated 5-year career with the Spartans. Perugini was named a Canada West All-Star in all 5 of his seasons and earned 4 consecutive All-Canadian selections between 2004 and 2007. He was named top rookie in Canada West for 2003 and received the 2006 Canada West Student Athlete of the Year award. In 2006, he helped the Spartans reach the National Championship final for the first time in program history. He capped off his career in 2007 when he was named both the National and Canada West Player of the Year, while captaining the Spartans to a 3rd consecutive Canada West Championship. While a Spartan, Perugini established TWU career records in assists, shots, shots on goal, games started, and minutes played. He also set TWU's single-season mark for assists. Perugini also represented his country at the 2007 World University Games in Thailand, where Canada finished 4th in men's soccer. Already a Canada West Hall of Famer, Nick Perugini is now in the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Please congratulate Nick Perugini. We're just going to get a quick photo here so they don't have to pose too long. Great, thank you. Congratulations, Nick. Boys, what do you think? Do you think your daddy did okay? Yeah? All right. All right, let's move on. This is soccer again. Kristen Funk.
One of the most decorated women's soccer players in Canada West history, Kristen Funk helped Trinity Western win 3 national championships and 3 Canada West banners over her sparkling 5-year career in goal between 2008 and 2012. The 5'6" goalkeeper from Calgary was a back-to-back first-team All-Canadian and Canada West first-team All-Star in 2011 and 2012. During the Spartans' national title runs in 2009 and 2012, she was also selected as a National Championship Tournament All-Star. Her finest season was in 2012 when she was tops among Canada West goalkeepers in goals against average and shutouts, while leading Trinity Western to first place with an 11-1 record. During her 4th and 5th seasons, the Spartans went nearly a calendar year without a loss, recording a 21-game unbeaten streak. Funk stands as the Canada West regular season record holder for career wins with 43 and is 5th in conference history for shutouts with 30. With nearly 5,000 minutes played, Funk is 5th all-time in that category and also sports the conference's 3rd best career save percentage at .863. Already a Canada West Hall of Famer, Kristen Funk, welcome to the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Kristen was also unable to make it, but very grateful for her award. She's living in Alberta these days and occasionally makes it out for a game, which is nice to see. Next up, men's volleyball, Ben Ball.
Ben Ball has been the definition of success. The 2012 Trinity Western graduate laid down the foundation for Spartans volleyball as it is revered today. The former setter was the centerpiece of a squad that won back-to-back national championships in 2011 and 2012. In his graduating year, he helped the Spartans capture the Canada West banner and second straight national title. Ball was named the tournament MVP, the Canada West Player of the Year, the Canada West Athlete of the Year encompassing all sports, and the U Sports Men's Volleyball Player of the Year. His mark that year of assists per set at 11.54 still endures as the second best season of all time. His name is also in the Canada West record book under all-time career set assists, where he's 11th, and career set assists per set, where he's 12th. In 2011-2012, Ball helped 8 teammates maintain averages of at least 1.3 kills per set while guiding the Spartans to a nation-leading 13.68 kills per set. Ball also has 2 Canada West All-Star selections to his name as well as a U Sports All-Canadian honor. Already a Canada West Hall of Famer, Ben Ball, welcome to the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Unfortunately, Ben Ball couldn't be here because he's coaching our men's volleyball team right now. He is a co-head coach for our men's volleyball team, and so they're on the road right now. But again, he was very honored, and it's an honor for us, again, that we can keep our alums around and benefit from them coming back and giving back. Next up, we have got Natalie Boyd-Cross from women's soccer.
A 5'5" midfielder from Surrey, BC, Natalie Cross's 5-year career with Trinity Western's women's soccer team is nearly unparalleled in the rich history of the program. The graduate of Sullivan Heights High School and product of Surrey United Soccer helped the Spartans win 3 national titles in 2009, 2012, and 2013, as well as a trio of Canada West championships in 2009, 2011, and 2012. She received scores of individual honors as well. 4 times she was a Canada West First Team All-Star and once a Second Team All-Star. She twice earned a Second Team All-Canadian selection and was also a National Championship All-Star on 2 occasions. A stellar playmaker, Cross ranks among the all-time conference leader with 20 assists, including a career-high 6 in 2012. Beyond her career with the Spartans, Cross twice represented Canada at the World University Games in 2011 and while captaining the team in 2013. Cross concluded her TWU career by being awarded the Spartans Complete Champion Award. Already a Canada West Hall of Famer, we now welcome Natalie Cross into the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Natalie almost made it here. Her brand new baby of maybe 6 months got a fever this week, and she's like, well, it's going to depend on how she does. And then she texted me Thursday and said, now I'm out for the count. And so unfortunately, she said, I'm so sad I can't make it. Natalie's another example of someone who has stayed around and continues to give back. She's part of the Spartan Foundation board now and volunteers her time and is at many of our events giving back because of the legacy that she started, she's continuing on with, which we're so grateful for. Next up, women's soccer. I think you're seeing a pattern. Nikki, Wright, Stephenson.
Nikki Stephenson won 3 national championships in her 5-year career at Trinity Western and ultimately finished with 4 national gold medals around her neck as one came in an injury redshirt year. Stephenson's star status as a Spartan was evident from the first beat. She took over the Canada West soccer scene, leading the conference in goals and points in her rookie season. That year, Stephenson won the Canada West Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year awards before going on to win the National Rookie of the Year award. Her dominant play continued into the postseason where she was a U Sports Tournament All-Star while helping lead the Spartans to the national title in 2008. Stephenson cemented her All-Star status in the following seasons with another selection to the Canada West All-Star team while helping the Spartans repeat as national champions. All told, Stephenson was part of TW's national championship winning teams in 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2013, before hanging up her collegiate cleats in 2014. She's already a Canada West Hall of Famer. Nikki Stephenson, welcome to the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nikki Stephenson. Congratulations, Nikki. The last of our individuals tonight, men's volleyball, Nick Del Bianco.
Over 5 seasons at Trinity Western, Nick Del Bianco helped the Spartans men's volleyball team cement their status as a national power. Between 2010 and 2015, the outside hitter helped Trinity Western to an 88-18 regular season record over his career. During those seasons, Del Bianco, who was a member of the 2011 U Sports All-Rookie team, TW won a Canada West title once and 2 national titles. Along with his team success, Del Bianco earned his fair share of individual accolades. He was a 3-time Canada West First Team All-Star, and in his final season at the university level, Del Bianco was the driving force behind Trinity Western's 20-4 regular season record. The Surrey, BC product capped off his career by being named the Canada West and National Player of the Year. All time, Del Bianco remains one of Canada West's most prolific servers, sitting in a tie for 6th with 123 career aces. After graduating from Trinity Western, Del Bianco went to play 5 years professionally with stops in Germany, France, Switzerland, and India. He's already a Canada West Hall of Famer. Nick Del Bianco, welcome to the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
Nick is another example of someone who is still giving back to our programs. He's a co-founder of an organization called Athlete Wellness Academy, and he's a performance coach, and he is working with our men's volleyball team, so is also on the road this weekend with them. And again, was just very honored and wanted to pass along his thanks and gratitude for this award. I'm going to get Jeff to come over and we're going to call Nikki and Nick up again. We would just like to see if maybe, I'm going to let Jeff just take over from here. We've just got a little short Q&A with Nick and Nikki. Check 1. This is top secret. Surprise.
All right, have a seat. I'll give you that. So, I mean, clearly both of you had incredible careers here, and stats come and go. But my guess is the friendships that you made are the things that have lasted much longer than that. And so can you just tell us about what that was like to be on a team, to establish camaraderie, and then just where you've seen that work out in your life today?
Yeah, I mean, when I was recruited as an athlete, I was recruited not just as an athlete, but as a person as well. And I think that's what made Trinity Western and the Spartans so special, in that I was more than just a person on the field. They were building into me as a person, and the relationships that I formed were second to none. So we went through some of the highest highs and the lowest lows, and did it with our team, our family. And you'll see in the women's soccer changing room the legacy that we have on the walls. And it's because we were always a family, we lean on each other, and I still have so many relationships and friendships to this very day. I graduated back in 2013, so that's a long time for me. But it was so special. And that's something that's really built into my life. It's made me very humble and grateful for my time at Trinity. And it's something I'll take for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Nick, you want to add anything to that?
This place has been a place of just extreme joy and healing and success for so many individuals, and you guys represent that as well. But I just know from our graduating class, like, I married a women's soccer player. We have 2 kids, and we all still hang out, and we all still see each other. Some of our friends that we played with, we still come to games to support the men's team, and it is just a big extended family, and it's one of those things that you can't really replicate. You almost have to be here to know what it's all about. So being here with you guys tonight and being with everyone is just kind of a testimony to what this organization and what the Spartans represent.
Awesome, thank you. As you've gone on into your careers now, and what are the lessons that you take with you that you reflect back on now and go, wow, that's something that really got instilled into me? Like, perhaps it got instilled to you by your parents or other places first, but it really kind of resonated and came home as a Spartan athlete, and now you look back and you go, I know for sure that as I'm in my career now, this is something that I can trace back to my time as a Spartan.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is the humility that I learned as a Spartan. Things are not always going to go your way. You're going to, obviously work as hard as you can, but sometimes, you're not going to have that kind of success that maybe you're used to as a hotshot, up-and-coming athlete. And so something that I really learned as a Spartan is, the humility to say, okay, yes, I'm an athlete, I've done quite well, but I'm nothing without my teammates. And so just to really, take all the accolades, all the success, even as a team that we've had, but still stay grounded in who I am as a person is something, that I'll take from Trinity and from being a part of this program that is irreplaceable.
Awesome. Nick?
For myself, I think it's the biggest lessons learned were the process. So enjoy the process. We set lofty goals for ourselves as a program when I was a player, and it's just recognizing what it takes to actually get there, what it takes to make the national tournament, what it takes to win a Canada West championship. And it's that day-to-day focus and refocus. And the same thing applies now to life, and same thing applies to when I'm working with younger athletes, is just you have to enjoy that process and you have to stick to it. And it's the day-to-day that's what I learned throughout my career here that's helping me in the day-to-day life now.
Awesome. Well, thank you, both of you. It's been a pleasure. Give them one more hand.
Thank you both. It's great to hear those reflections. All right. We all know who's up next. I have to put a few ground rules down because I know you guys. I don't know you, but I know you by reputation. All right, so we've got a big group of people here tonight, which is so amazing. I think we've got 9 of 18 here, which is so impressive to me. Thank you again for making the commitment to come. What we're going to do is we're going to watch the video first, and then I'm going to read like a roster in alphabetical order, everyone who was on the team. I'm also going to list some stand-ins that have come tonight to represent those who were unable to make it. So I'll say the name of the player on the team as well as the stand-in. Stand-ins, please come up. We'd like to see you as well. If we can just get the players that were on the team to stop off at the sweater station first, we'll make sure that we get you suited up. And then we do want to get just the group of gentlemen that were on the team a photo with you in your sweaters, and we'll move on from there. So please fasten your seatbelts for 1969-70 men's basketball team.
The 1969-70 Trinity Junior College Spartans men's basketball team enters the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame as the first team to ever win a championship for the Spartans. In 1970, in their first year as members of the BC Intercollegiate Conference, the Spartans defeated Vancouver City College 74-65 to win the championship. The championship was played in the newly built Trinity Gym, now known as the David E. Enison Gymnasium. Trinity Junior College's Jeff Thompson with 21 points led the Spartans to victory in the title game, while Pat Lee was named an All-Star that season. The Spartans finished the season with an impressive 7-1 record in conference play and an overall record of 9-10 with a highly competitive non-conference schedule. They were a team that made championship history at Trinity in 1970, and now they're making history once again as they are our first team to enter the Trinity Western University Spartans Hall of Fame.
All right, congratulations. And here's the team in alphabetical order, starting with Dave Bartkey, and standing in this evening is Len Friesen, so please come up. John Block, Rod Carlson, Dave Dunn, Phil Enerson, Harvey Engbrecht, Steve Ford, Pat Lee, who, by the way, coached me in Spring League many, many years ago. What a great experience. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. He told me how to use these elbows. Ron Peters. Mark Sani was unable to be here this evening, but standing in tonight is Sam Bartel. Jeff Thomas, standing in this evening, is Don Swanson. Pete Taves, unfortunately, also unable to be here this evening, so Joe Engbrecht is standing in. I should have confirmed this, but I think it's Sjord van der Kooi. Did I get that right? Yes? Hopefully we're close. And standing in is Paul Enerson, Phil's brother. And Roger Welsh, standing in this evening, is Dan Splinter. Head coach of the team was Don Tavolacci, who unfortunately has already passed, and standing in this evening is Rick Enerson, who is a grandson of David E. Enerson that the gym is named after. Manager Gordon Betcher, and I have to ask you if you're related to Aaron Betcher, who's a men's volleyball alum of ours. Where's Gordon? Any relation? No? Well, you're still welcome. And assistant managers, John Ocker, standing in this evening is Marcy Rempel, and Ken Thiessen, standing in this evening is Dave Betcher.
So it's been my pleasure over the last month or so to start connecting with some of these fine gentlemen through email mostly, but some on the phone, to hear some of the stories. So we're not going to spend a lot of time, but I believe I heard a story about a player who you were playing in Victoria, and this person had a third of their points in one game because they were trying to impress someone that was there watching the game. Who might that have been? That was John. That was John. Okay. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, what you remember?
I suppose I could. He was in the process of wooing a new girl. And I don't remember exactly who it was, Sue Swingle maybe? And he was just lights out that night. It was 33 points, and the rest of us didn't have a fighting chance.
Can you confirm or deny this?
It's vaguely familiar. It seemed to work. The bride is still with us after 50
That's right. Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand. Amazing. So then there are some of you that remember actually playing in the Barnasium. So would anyone like to tell us a few stories? I never got to see the Barnasium other than in pictures. But can anyone kind of share a story or two from their time playing in the Barnasium? Was it like, if it was as cold as it is tonight, like, did you feel that cold? Like, what was that like? Who wants to put up their hand and let us in on the Barnasium experience? All right, here we go.
It really goes back a few years even before our time, but for those who might remember the Barnasium, it was a dairy barn that was converted into a basketball arena. And one of the things that they did when they converted the barn into a gymnasium, the walls were on almost a 45-degree angle on each wall. So I recall people who wanted to play basketball or any other sport always bumping into that wall on either side because it was on a 45-degree angle.
Anyone else want to share their experience in the Barnasium? Anyone got a story? All right, no more stories on the Barnasium.
Somebody said something about a hayloft.
Oh, a hayloft. Who spent time in the hayloft? Oh, John's definitely nodding about the hayloft. All right, well, I'm going back down to John. Let's hear about the hayloft.
Well, the prayer room was often busy.
So the prayer room was in the hayloft. That's what you're saying. Okay. Wow. I've heard about these things at Trinity, but
We still have prayer rooms on campus.
then I heard a story. They built this beautiful new gym. I think was one of the biggest floor spaces in the Fraser Valley, or maybe it was the biggest floor space in the Fraser Valley. But a few of you maybe walked into this brand new facility, and you look out across this amazing new maple floor, and it had a 3-foot mountain in the middle of it. Would anyone like to talk about? Oh, I see a nodding head here. Let's hear about the 3-foot mountain in the middle of the gym.
I think they were trying to. What was causing it is it was a brand new floor, and I guess they didn't anticipate what would happen with the expansion, with the heat of the players as well as all the students, and the whole floor started to bubble in the middle, and the piano got rushed off to the corner, and I think the game was shut down, wasn't it, for a while until we got it to settle down and everything. Yeah. So welcome to your new facility.
Nothing like quality. All right. Well, time for one more story. Would anyone else like to just share a memory of what they have on the team? Harp.
Talking about developing relationships. Pat Lee and I were roommates on campus, and we played against each other in high school. But I just want to share this, and I don't think Pat will mind. I didn't ask him, but I know what he thinks. Anyway, we did share lots about the gospel. Pat was a Roman Catholic background. I was a Christian. And for many nights, we would sit there and argue about God and how God would look at things and what he thought and what I thought. But the bottom line is I just shared the gospel with him, what the Bible said about inviting Jesus Christ into your life and making him your personal Savior. And we've had a lot of conversations. But anyway, life goes on. 10 years ago, was it 10, 12? Yeah, 10 or 12 years ago, we were on campus, and Jake Brown was still alive, and I don't know, we were doing something here, but anyway, I go sit down on the bleachers, and Pat comes sits down beside me, and he said, "Harv, you know what? I have become a Christian. I've been a Christian for quite a while." So, to me, that is most exciting. You rub shoulders with people. You share Jesus, and many times you don't know. But this was an exciting moment for me, and Pat and myself have been lifelong friends, so praise God.
Amen. Thank you. Oh, we got a backup story.
Just to go on that a little bit is, over the course of my life, it seems that God has always put something or somebody into my life that has been a savior, and or somebody that it just keeps me on track, I guess. And Harv was the very first, and we used to sit up almost every night talking about that. And I have to say that I love this man because he was so patient with me. And then I went on to Calgary, and then I ran into another guy that was very similar, his name was Bernie, and he was a strong Christian. I wasn't. And then as we went through with my career a little bit at Calgary, another guy came into my life named John Teutenhoef, who some of you may know Frank Teutenhoef. But John Teutenhoef played for a year solid Christian guy that was a real example to me. I was a fifth year and he was a first year, and he got to play against me every night in practice, and we used to just pound on each other. And he kept coming back every night, and I respected that. But what I respected about him was his faith, and he was a part of my life too. And so I just, as a reminder, and then I didn't really become a Christian until I was 35, somewhere between 35 and 40, where I really said, yes, God, I want you to be part of my life. And in saying that, I just thought, it has been so interesting to reflect back and see the people that I've never forgotten because they were a part of my life. And I think God has a plan that way. And I was really, really appreciative of guys like Harvey and Bernie and John and all those people that came into my life. But Harvey was the very first, and I'm just, like I say, I really came to grow to love this guy for what he stands for. So I just thank you for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, gentlemen. You can take a seat, but thank you for being with us, and we'll make sure that your teammates receive their awards in due time too.
Yes, and Coach Tavolachi, we want to make sure we don't go on without speaking about him just briefly. I was able, fortunately, to be able to get in touch with, or through Phil's help, I can't even remember, there were so many emails flying around, but somebody helped us connect with the Tavolachi family, which was so cool because, again, I've walked through that hallway of history, I've seen these pictures, I've heard those names, but we kind of lost touch with what happened to him. And so we were able to get some of that information from his family, and they were just so happy to be able to share in this. They were honored that their father was being honored, and I found out some pretty cool things about Mr. Tavolachi. So of course at that time it was TJC. He was at TJC from 68 to 77. In total in his career he coached for 28 years, including track and field and cross country. Had a real passion for serving God through sport. He started the Montana Senior Olympics program, and that is apparently still going today, so a legacy that lives on. And was also a javelin world champion for his age group at the Senior Olympics. So this is, I think he's a jock of all trades, if you want to call it that. Standing in this evening tonight was, for Coach Tavolachi, is Rick Enerson. Where's Rick? Rick is the son of Dan Enerson, and in many respects, Dan was a bit of a founder of the men's basketball program in the early 60s, and we're just very pleased he could be here tonight to stand in for Don Tavolachi. 69-70, of course, was the year of the championship, the first year of this new building that was named in honor of his grandfather and the Enerson brothers who are here, their dad. And of course, we're going to go and watch the game here pretty quick, so we'll keep things short. But unfortunately, Dan passed away in March of 2021, and we had many conversations, he and I, about the legacy of the gym, and he would have absolutely loved to have been here this evening. I know it would have meant a lot to him. He found that Coach Tavolachi as well was really a mentor for him in many ways. He was a great athletic director, and the legacy he leaves as just a man of God. He had 3 beautiful children, Christine, his wife, and thank you, Rick. Just appreciate you coming and representing, because I know that your dad, we said it already earlier, would be watching from above tonight and would be so pleased. So thank you again for coming tonight. I can picture him in the top row of the bleachers there. He had his little spot, so thank you. All right, so I'm going to call Jeff forward just to say a few words, and then we do have another date over in the gymnasium pretty soon. So Jeff, please come forward.
Thanks, Julie. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Martin for being here. Trinity Western has been incredible at supporting Spartan athletics. We are a school, when we were doing the tour today, I was just chatting with the group and saying, if you took every single person who has ever attended Trinity Western, put them all together, that number is about 30,000 people. There are over 50,000 people just this year at UBC. So this is truly a little institution that, as you've seen, started really not that long ago when you compare it. When I travel around as an athletic director, I will talk with athletic directors who are doing something like this, and they are working with a program that is over 100 years old. They will do fundraisers that they're celebrating their 120th year as a rugby school or a rugby program or a basketball program. So we are very young. But I just need to thank each one of you, no matter what era you came from, whether you were on the 69-70 team, whether or not you were playing soccer, you were playing volleyball, you were here 10 years ago or not, you have built an incredible foundation for the student athletes that we have here currently. We have about 400 student athletes now. We have teams that span from hockey to rugby to volleyball, basketball, soccer, track and field, cross country, and most newly, disc golf even. So if any of you are entering into the disc golf world, then you could come back. I'm sure you might still have some eligibility, and you can participate with us. But yeah, we have about 400 athletes who travel around and represent what you have on your chest there. What it means to be a Spartan is someone who is, as you have heard here tonight, pursues excellence in these 5 areas. And about 20 years ago now, we coined a phrase called the complete champion approach, which was simply coalescing what all of you, if you were here before that time, had done in your time here. Is you said, I'm going to love Jesus, I'm going to pursue spiritual excellence, I'm going to pursue athletic excellence, I'm going to pursue academic excellence, I'm going to try to be a great person and human being, so I'm going to pursue personal excellence, and I'm going to try to be a leader wherever God plants me, anywhere you go in the world. And that approach, that holistic approach, is what I truly think sets this place apart. Because you take people who have that focus and have that commitment to being humble, we heard about that earlier, to being leaders wherever they are, to being committed to giving back. It's not about you. We can't take anything out of this world, but we can leave an impact by the relationships that we build and the way that we give back into the communities that we are a part of. And I see that legacy come out, and it gives me such great pride and joy when I see you reconnecting and I hear the stories and I see those of you that are local, you're coming back, you're giving back in different ways, and we cannot thank you enough. And Julie started this with the idea of being built on the shoulders of giants. And truly, as our athletes go out today, and if you walk into the gym, you will see multiple national championship teams. And those all only happened because of the foundation that was laid and the legacy that each one of you left in your time here as a Spartan. So thank you on behalf of Spartan Athletics. Thank you on behalf of Trinity Western University for being incredible. Keep doing your part. You probably have no idea the legacy that you have already left, but we thank you, and just continue to celebrate tonight, continue to reconnect, and I hope I can get around to just meet all of you that I haven't had the chance to meet. But we'll cheer on the teams that are over there in the David E., and we will not turn the lights off until the last one of you decides it's time to go home. So enjoy your time. Thank you for being here, and let's go Spartans.